It's no secret that portable power stations are popping up faster than rabbits can repopulate. But what makes the Bluetti AC180 portable power station special that makes it great for camping, overlanding, and just general battery backup? So I've been using portable power stations like the AC180 for several years now, and I've had experience with many different devices. And even this year, having come back from a recent family camping trip and putting the AC180 to use, really put it through its paces, use the PV200 solar panel with it. This thing is phenomenal. And what I really am enjoying about it is just the overall power capacity that it provides. Now, I've wanted something that is above that 1,000 watt hour capacity, and the AC180 comes in at 1,152 watt hours. And so it hits that nice sweet spot of not being too large, but it's giving me enough power that I can be confident to power all of the things for my family over a weekend or longer camping trip. So the AC180, yeah, it's a slightly larger device than, say, something like the EB70S, which is also from Bluetti. And this has been a common thing for me to take out on my trips. But what I have noticed is I basically deplete all of the power out of this by the time I am coming back from a camping trip. And no, I've not always been using solar to keep it topped off and such, like this solar panel here, the PV200, which we'll talk about a little more here in a second. But this just does not quite bring me to that capacity of power that I really want to ensure that I've always got enough power for everything that I'm powering for the camping trips I'm going on. So that's why the AC180 really does hit a sweet spot for me. Now, feature-wise, this just has exactly what I need. So you've got 11 different outputs on here. You've got 4 USB-A outputs, and then a 100 watt output USB-C, which is nice because I can power a laptop, I can power things that just require more watts to be able to get them charged and such. Then you've got 4 AC outputs, which is really nice to see. I can plug pretty much anything in there that I want because the output of the inverter is 1,800 watts with a boost up to 2,700 watts. So I could run pretty much any appliance that I want to run if I'm in an RV or I'm out camping, overlanding, and I am carrying some small appliances with me. I'm able to power those through this AC output right here. You do have one 12-volt DC output, which I would argue with the unit this size, it would be nice to have 2 of those because I did find myself in a position where it would have been nice to leave my 12-volt fridge plugged in, but then have the ability to plug something else in that is 12-volt powered. For example, a heated blanket would have been super nice to be able to plug in as a secondary option and not have to unplug my fridge to be able to do that. Now, that is pretty nitpicky, I think, but again, with a unit this size, I would say 2 12-volt outputs would be really nice to see. But that's essentially it for what you have going on here on the outputs of the device. On the side here is your AC input to be able to charge. And it's nice because you don't have to have like a separate brick for you to charge the device. It just charges all internally, and it is super fast in its charging time. When it's plugged into that AC power, it will charge from 0% to 80% in about 45 minutes. And that is fantastic for a device like this. Now, one other output that you have is on the top of the device, which I really love, and that is a 15 watt wireless charging pad where I can take my phone and just set that puppy right on top, and boom, I am now charging my phone without having to take up any of these spaces here, because I'll be charging things like headlamps, flashlights, iPads, just other things that aren't wirelessly charged, and I can just throw that on there and not have to unplug, replug, all that kind of stuff. Let's quickly dig into the display of the AC180. This is a really nice display that's going to give you all of the information that you need. When you've got all of the various things plugged in, it's going to give you your current percentage of battery remaining. It'll tell you how many hours would be remaining for you to get a full charge on the device. So that will change when you plug like the solar in or the AC or the other two options of charging. It's going to show you your input in watts and your output in watts. And then depending on where you live, you can change the hertz of the device for having the correct output and such for what you're trying to do. And then when you've got your AC inverter turned on, it will show that that is powered, as well as the green illumination of that, as well as on the DC. So that is really, really convenient to see. Gives you all of the information that you need for seeing how the device is performing and what it's going to be like over the duration of your trip. From a real world use perspective, how has the AC180 functioned as I've been out with my family on several camping trips, powering a 12-volt fridge, powering devices, charging things, just you name it, the works. If it has a battery, it's been plugged into this thing. So performance-wise, this has been fantastic. I have just really enjoyed how well this has worked out, minus one small issue that I had, which could have been user error. And that has to do with the fact that out on a recent camping trip, I got up in the morning, opened the hatch of my car, and I noticed that my fridge was not on. And I couldn't see the temperature display and stuff. And so I wiggled the 12-volt input right here, didn't change anything. But then I noticed that the green power illumination was not on. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not good. The device is not on, it's not powering anything. And I don't know if when at night I was checking to see what the percentage was before I went to bed, that I pushed the button for too long and it actually turned the device off, or if this actually decided, being in the eco mode, to turn off by itself and then not power, which I don't think is an actual function of this. So that's why I say it really could have been user error. But it's worth mentioning, it's worth noting, just so that you could pay attention to it should you decide to get one of these for yourself. Now, the other thing that I've really enjoyed using with the AC180 is the PV200 solar panel. Flip it around. This is a 200 watt solar panel that has been super convenient because it is a pretty small form factor, doesn't take up a lot of space. And when you're powering a larger device like this, it's nice if you're not moving around for the day to pull this out, fold it out, and plug it in and just top off the device for your needs for the day. Now, as I've been using the PV200, I'm not getting a full 200 watts of input from the solar into the AC180. The max I've seen so far is 165 watts, which has been sufficient for over an hour or two of this being in the sun, giving me 15-20% of additional battery that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And I do think that the 200 watt makes more sense than the 100 watt because the 200 watt panel is larger. It's gonna help power this larger watt hour capacity device than some of these smaller options like the EB3A that's like less than 300 watt hour capacity. So having the 200 watts really makes a big difference. Now, cost-wise, what is the investment into the AC180? At a retail price point, you're $1,000 USD for the AC180, but it is often on sale for as low as $750 USD, which makes this an insane value because you've got 1,152 watt hours of capacity for under $1,000. Like, that is really, really nice from a value standpoint. When you pair it with the PV200 solar panel, your retail cost is about $1,600 USD, but again, on sale, roughly around the $1,200 mark. which is again an incredible value if you are needing to power a 12-volt fridge, you need something portable, you're going out as a family, you've got all sorts of different devices and such that are needing to be powered and charged, etc., etc. This is honestly just a really good sweet spot for a power station that is also reliable. Like, I have had this out on several trips so far. I've been trying to put it through its paces, use it at its max capacity, just really have enjoyed how much this has added in convenience to my camping trips, but also confidence in having all of the power that I need when I'm going out as a family on my camping trips. Now, I do want to thank Bluetti for sponsoring this video, but all of what I have shared today has been my personal experience using the device out in the field in real world conditions. And it's been reliable, I've enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. It's been great. So there you go, the AC180 from Bluetti. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Catch you on the next one. See you later.